Hey, welcome to the Fancy Cakery. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make a chocolate cake. And this cake does not require a bunch of expensive ingredients. It is simple, easy to make. I'll walk you all through it. You have everything that you need to make this cake in your house for the most part. The only thing you need to buy is some cocoa powder. Other than that, you're good to go. And stay tuned to the end and I'll show you a baking hack that will save you. Okay guys, let's get this cake started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cream some butter with some sugar. And the butter is going to be room temperature. You do want to have your butter out at room temperature and let it come to room temperature by itself. And don't worry about following the recipe because I am going to have it at the end where you can read it all out. So you don't have to worry about sitting down and stressing and taking notes. And I'll have it linked in the description box below. You're going to take your paddle attachment and you're just going to let that go around, and you're going to cream that with some sugar, just regular granulated sugar, and you can whip this on high for as long as you need to. There's no flour in there, so you don't have to worry about it getting all gluteny. So now we can go on. We can move on and we can get our dry ingredients. So for our dry ingredients, we want 2 3/4 cup of flour. Always sift your flour. All right. So you got your flour in your bowl. Right here. Kind of. So we have that. Now we are going to sift this together with the baking powder and baking soda. We have 2 teaspoons baking powder. And always make sure your baking powder is fresh. If you live in a hot climate like the Bahamas where I'm from, you might need to keep it in the fridge because it's not, it's the moisture, the humidity in the air is going to not do good things. And then same thing with your baking soda, 2 of your baking soda. And it's very hard to get it out of that box. So I always put it in a little container. And you see when you get all these things, when you learn all these little tricks, it really doesn't go, it takes no time. And then I use my whisk or a spoon or a fork or whatever you got, your fingers, your hand, whatever you got, and you just get that until it's down, because if you go like this at the beginning, it's just going to go all over the place and make a mess. You don't want that. Any little grains at the bottom, don't squish them, please. Just throw them out. You don't want them. They ain't good. All right, so now that we have that, this is still going. This is the time when you're going to stop this for a sec, and you're going to scrape down because, it builds up. And I don't know if you can see. I'll try to show you. It's still a little grainy. I don't think you can see that, but it's not ready yet. We want it creamed. When they say cream the butter and the sugar, that word cream is really telling what you're trying to get, what you're trying to do. So I'm going to wrap that up. Now, we're going to do like I promised, this is very easy. That's it. I mean, as far as ingredients, there's just eggs to go and cocoa. You ain't got to chop no chocolate. You ain't got to melt it down in no double boiler. You ain't got to get this, get that, get next. Just cocoa. I normally always use Hershey's cocoa or Cakery's because it's a really good quality cocoa. But I'm making this for my family. So I got the cheap, great value cocoa. Now this is not the cocoa that you make cocoa, your cocoa in the morning. This is unsweetened cocoa baking cocoa, unsweetened, 100% cocoa. So this is what we're using. And we're gonna, and cocoa makes a mess. So what I normally can do, I normally take that, put that in the bowl, and then I just fill it in like that. That way, if the cocoa goes all over the place, it's just going right in the bowl, so it's all right. And if you put a little extra, I'm we're gonna make it chocolatier, so it's okay. And I tried this cocoa before, and it is good. Like I said, if I was doing it for a cake, a wedding cake, or a cake to sell, I definitely would use the Hershey's or the Cadbury's. I don't even know if you could get Cadbury's in the States, but I would use good quality cocoa. But for the home, this is just fine. And you're going to now use 2 cups of water to this. So now I boiled this water already. So now we're going to 2 cups of water, hot water, boiling water. And you're doing all this while that is creaming. So if you had a hand mixer, you're going to get all this ready ahead of time, and you're just going to mix with your hand. Or you just get your little minions in the kitchen. You know, them little children. What do you think you have them for? They're pretty to sit up in the room to play video games? No, they're your mixers. And of course, you know, they're going to want to eat the batter when it's all done. So they like that. They like to be in the kitchen. So get them involved. Children love making cakes. Slashing. Alright. But that's it. Alright, so folks, we're basically ready to put this together. That didn't take long at all, did it? I'm telling you, people buy those mixes. You don't know what's in them. Like, what is in those cake mixes? You just add oil, water, eggs. You're not really sure. You know there's a lot of fake stuff in there. But you know what you put in your cakes when you make them from scratch. You know where they come from. You know what's in them. And I like homemade cakes. There's nothing like a homemade cake, in my opinion. Some people differ. I went to a baking class in Dallas, and they made it very known that all of their wedding cakes, they use Duncan Hines. And that's fine. That works for them. And I've went to baking sites, you know, those baking group chats or those baking websites where you have a community. And there's a definite, some people are no, definitely never going to use a box mix. And then some people are half. And then some people are no, never use homemade. Just so it's really preference. I just like homemade cakes. Like I said, I like to know what I put in them. And I just like, it's not that I'm cheating, I just like them. So now we're gonna crack our eggs. We're gonna use 4 eggs. Just making sure, 4 eggs, yes. And I never crack an egg, and I learned this in high school cooking class with Miss Garraway in the Bahamas. Never break your egg into there because it might be bad, it might be spoiled, or it might have a shell in it. And you can, I always do it in a clear so I can actually see, and I do it one at a time. So now that this is creamed, we're gonna add them on low, one at a time, and we're gonna crack them one at a time, because I promise you, you think you are the best egg cracker in the whole wide world until someone's eating a shell, and then you realize, you know, this little step may seem like an extra step that you could skip. Nah, I wouldn't skip it, because it might save your cake. Alright, so we got 4 eggs in there, and that's on low. So now we're going to do it up to medium high. I'm going to let it whip for a little bit. And then I'm going to scrape down the sides and the bottom. And make sure that I got that in there. I do want to say that I started this whole thing. I cleaned my kitchen with bleachy, soapy water. I'm a Caribbean. I'm sorry, but you don't clean no kitchen without bleach. And everything was wiped down and cleaned beforehand. I don't bake in a dirty kitchen. I don't cook in a dirty kitchen. That's just me. But I would advise that because, you know, as you can see, germs are very important to not have. So now, I don't know if you can see, but it's coming nice and creamy. And we can whip that. You can go high. You can whip this. If you turn around, someone comes to the door, you forget. Feel free. Keep whipping. It's fine. It's gonna be all right. And okay, that's about good. So now we're gonna alternate, and we are going to put our flour. We don't want to make a complete mess, so we're gonna alternate our flour. And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes when I'm in a big rush, I just dump all them in and mix. And you know what? It's not it. There we go. Chocolate. This chocolate is hot. I've had this recipe for years and years and years. Honestly, I will never use another one. This recipe is perfect. It's perfect for stack cakes, just by itself. It's perfect for wedding cakes. It's perfect. It can hold up to stacking tier cakes. If you want to soak and put, glaze on your cake, or it's perfect for that. This is just the perfect recipe. I will never need another one. It comes out rich and chocolatey. And this is all I use for everything. Cupcakes, perfect. And I never use cake flour. I've tried using cake flour. To be honest, it comes out too soft. This is just perfect, this recipe. Pour the rest of that in. And when I first made this cake, years and years ago, you know, I'm only 30, so I would say maybe 10 years ago, I remember thinking, gosh, this is kind of watery, because I only ever made like pound cakes, it was, you know, thick, and I was like, this is watery, and I was sure, I was 100% sure, I'm going to scrape it down, that I did something wrong until it came out. I did not do anything wrong. It was perfect. So this is absolutely perfect if you just want the most inexpensive, easiest recipe. We're done. I mean, this is it. We are literally done. And so now, see, it's watery, well, drippy, almost like chocolate fondue. That's what it looks like. So no, you did not make a mistake. And I normally put a teaspoon of vanilla, but you know, vanilla is pricey, so sometimes I don't have it. And I'm gonna be very, very honest, I don't miss it. So I save it for the buttercreams and stuff where you really, that taste is really needed for the vanilla. I just feel like if you could save it all, and if it's not necessary, then it's not necessary. So that's it. So now you take this and you put this in your baking pan and you bake it at 350, or cupcakes. Maybe you have to lower the temperature a little bit for the cupcakes, and you bake it, you know, it always depends on the oven, 30 minutes. And you always put a toothpick, not a fork, not a knife, a toothpick in the center. And if it comes out clean, then you're good. This cake rises quite a bit, so please do not fill your cupcake muffins more than half, or your baking pans more than half, because this is going to rise really nicely. And that's it. And as promised, I'm gonna show you a baking hack. Cakes do not appreciate cold eggs. But when you go to bake, sure enough, you forgot to take the eggs out of the fridge. Now you have cold eggs and you're ready to go. Your butter is softened, everything's ready. What are you gonna do? Well, I guess you gotta use the cold eggs. No, you don't. Get some boiling water and put your eggs in a cup or a mug or a bowl and cover it with the boiling water and just leave it. By the time you need your eggs, they will be almost room temperature or way better than ice cold. So don't forget this trick. You are gonna need it, I'm almost 100% sure. And that's it. And I am so excited that you joined me in this chocolate cake recipe. And leave a comment below and tell me if you tried it and if you like it, or maybe you have a better recipe. I doubt it. I highly doubt it, but maybe. So thank you for coming into my kitchen, into the Fancy Cakery, and I look forward to another recipe.